I tell you, it's just so great to see all of you here tonight for a lot of reasons. We've come a long ways since walking those halls at Anderson High School. And I know all of you sure remember walking those halls. It was special. But there have been so many good and so many bad things that have happened to every single one of you out there since we walked those halls. A lot of good and a lot of bad. But you know what? All of you are still hanging in there. And you've all been very blessed to have done that. There were a lot of reasons that why I shouldn't have had a reunion this year. But I wanted to have one very much. And apparently all of you wanted to have one too. In spite of the COVID issues, you chose to come here to see all your classmates. There are some of you that have been to every reunion we've ever had. Could you please raise your hands? Well, that's great. It's amazing. It's amazing that you know, we started out years ago with reunions, and things have changed a lot since then in many ways. And we've got classmates here tonight from 7 different states. Now that is a lot. It's an awful lot with this COVID thing going on. Those numbers are down from reunions we've had in the past, but you know what? When I tell people that are in other classes how many people come here from all of these different states, they're in amazement that it happened. It wasn't too many reunions ago that we had people from 18 different states come to our reunion. But anyway, all of you people, if you could, I'm trying to look around and the ones that came from out of state, I'm looking, I lost my list, but there we go. Okay, let's start with, there's Gary, there's Marilyn, and Gary Moore from California. Okay, Richard Dunwoody from Florida. I know Paul Abshire is from Florida. And I know we got that gang, did a great job here on our invocation. Back here from Tallahassee, Tennessee. I never heard it. All of my parents came from Tennessee. But I had never heard of this place, Tallahassee, Tennessee. Good job, buddy, good job. And normally he flies in, he got a plane, he flies here normally from Tennessee, but this time he drove and brought a camper with him. Tom, thank you so much. Got his wonderful wife, Pat. Thank you, Tom. And I know I'm missing. Where is she at? Oh, there, okay. Jean Deeds. Tell them where you're from, Dean.
Mifflin, North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, I am trying to find, she's a small girl. Back there, okay. She's from Chicago, from Illinois. Oh my gosh. And of course, with her. Lars came with her. And Bart Whitney. And we got another one down here. She's hiding in the front row. She used to sit behind me in the homeroom. Millie Turbyville Anderson from Florida. Am I missing anybody? I think I've covered. Whoa! Oh! Well, what? Well, you've already moved, Jim. That doesn't count. Yeah, the Stringers, you might have seen in the email, the Stringers moved to Ohio. And they were up there, they were just part of that Alexandria community for a long, long time. Jim and Wanda Stringer, they now are in Ohio. And John Chambers was supposed to be in here tonight. He was from Ohio, but he didn't make it. I think that's it. Well, anyway, we have a couple here tonight that is celebrating their wedding anniversary. Now, I don't know too many, well, I don't know how to word this nicely, but anyway, Mary and Jay Idleman, this is their wedding anniversary. If you want to see if an old classmate is here tonight, there is a listing over there. Some of you have probably already seen it, that small one. Have the name of everybody that's here tonight. Some of them didn't make it. I'm sure that most of you people have in your lives people that I call go-to people. There's some in this class that I have that I go to make this reunion a success. And if you can, hold your applause to the end. First of all, I'd like to very much thank my wife, Pam. She helps me in many ways, and after her transplant, it's been pretty tough. But I tell you, she's tough. I'd like to thank Nancy Neiman, who calls up Carolyn Lazenby, calls up Camille Roby, or Rowdy Bush, and they make up a team, what I call the welcoming team. And this year, couldn't get any of those women to take any pictures outside. That was going to be their job, but Carolyn Lazenby talked Marvin into doing the job. Marvin, you did a good job, buddy. Thank you very much. And thanks to Ron McNabney for taking care of the golf outing. He takes care of this all the time for us and for me, and it's just, when you can have someone like him that you call up and say, hey, Ron, how about helping out? Ron always says, sure. And Ron, thank you so much for getting the tea time and coordinating this. Thank you very much, Ron. And I'd like to thank also Francis Kim. Francis has been a friend of mine from grade school on. And very briefly, some of you know this story. I'll try to make it a short one. It's a long one, but I'll make it very short. Try to. The very first soapbox derby that my dad never built, the first derby we ever built, we were all set for the race. Got the car through inspection, and I got the mumps the day before the race. And so they allowed me to have a substitute driver. I called Francis. And he had never driven a derby in his life. And the ramp in Anderson, Indiana is extremely steep. You come off this big ramp and boom, you get a flying start. Well, Francis, some of you may remember Kenny Streety. Kenny was in our class. It just happened that Francis was racing Kenny in the first race. Well, guess what? Kenny's steering didn't work too well, and he ran into Francis and they crashed coming off the ramp. Well, they brought the car back to the top of the hill. My dad went to work on it, and Francis drove it 2 more times down the hill and won 2 more races in it. So, anyway, but I know that I can call Francis at any time. I can call him at any time and trust him to give me an honest answer and give me his thoughts on a reunion or really about anything in life. He's a great guy. And I certainly want to thank my good friend behind me. We just couldn't have a reunion without Buddy Patterson and his lovely wife. You know, I've told you several times before, it's always a mystery what year Buddy graduated. But the one thing I know for sure, and Buddy will tell you, he claims this class. He loves this class, and Buddy, we love you too.
What are you, buddy, about 90?
Buddy, no, he's not going to tell you how old he is. And I'd like to thank Jay Ivey. This guy has incredible talent and a really different sense of humor. But he helps me with so many things year round. So many things. He helped me with all these posters. We had a few arguments along the way, but we got the job done. And he also made all the name tags that you're wearing. He also does our website, and he keeps my computer going when I have some problems with it. I give him a call. He takes care of that. Jay, thank you very much for everything you do for our class and for me. After our freshman and sophomore years, the school board decided that our class was having too much fun, so they built Madison Heights. What a ridiculous move, but they did. It was sad for everyone. It was sad for the Anderson classmates that stayed in Anderson. It was sad to see a lot of their friends move and be transferred to Madison Heights. So it was sad for everyone. There are some here tonight that were transferred to Madison Heights. 10 years ago, they asked me if they could come to our reunions and lunches. And they have been coming ever since. They're, in my mind, they're a very, very special group sitting over there, and I want all of us to give them a big round of applause. Sadly, a lot of you have seen the board over there in memory. Sadly, 170 of our classmates have passed away.
What did you say, 171?
15 of you here tonight had spouses that had passed away. I just thank you so much for coming. It has to be extremely tough to have a spouse pass away and be here tonight by yourself. You're really not alone. You are alone, but yet you're not when you're with this class. You've seen this. I'll never forget Judy Overmeyer. I think I've said this several times before. Oh, Judy Overmeyer, you know her and Dan are from Ohio, and She had gone always to her class reunions over in Ohio. She came to our reunion and she just shook her head. She said, "I've never seen anything like this." She said, "Brooks," she said, "that is the huggingest class I've ever seen." And it's true, a lot of hugging going on. Certainly last night there was a lot of hugging going on, a lot. And I hope things turn out okay. That's the best way I can put it. But anyway, I would like to bow our heads and pause for a moment of silence for all the classmates and the spouses that have passed away. Could we bow our heads, please, for a moment of silence? Amen. Donations play a big part in making this reunion a huge success. It only cost you $5 to come last night, $10 to come tonight. Other classes, and some of you know this, other classes charge anywhere from $30 to $50 a person. The only way this could happen is your donations. There were 12 classmates this year, 12 classmates donated that lived in other states, and they're not here tonight. It didn't matter. They wanted to donate to this class. And to all of you that gave, thank you very much. This just couldn't happen. All of these banners, all of these different things that we do, all the balloons, all this stuff, that's the only way we can do that is through donations. There are people that never get the recognition that they deserve. And those are people that have served in our military from our class. If you could, just raise your hand so we can appreciate all of you. Raise your hand. I know a lot of you, Chris, in the Navy, the Army, all of them. Raise your hand. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. There's so many of our classmates were in the military, and I've received a lot of emails over the years of different experiences that they've had in the military. And okay, that pretty much concludes my part in the program.